The Rich Man Who Was Always Late. The next morning, Adrian woke before sunrise. Not because he wanted to, because his alarm demanded it. 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30. Every minute already belonged to someone else. He checked his phone before opening both eyes. 32 unread emails, 9 calendar notifications, 3 missed calls. His day hadn't started, yet somehow, he was already behind. Outside his apartment window, the city was waking up. Coffee shops opened. Traffic lights blinked. Thousands of people rushed toward another day they hoped would finally make them successful. Adrian joined them. His tailored suit fit perfectly. His luxury sedan purred through the morning traffic. To everyone who saw him, he looked like a man winning at life. No one noticed. His hands never left the steering wheel without checking the time. At exactly 8:02, he arrived at the office. Late. Again. His assistant hurried toward him. "Mr. Hayes, the investors have been waiting for 12 minutes. He apologized without slowing down. "I'm sorry, traffic." But traffic wasn't the reason. Yesterday, it had been another excuse. The day before, another. Every day. Something stole his time, or so he believed. The meeting ended successfully. Millions of dollars changed hands. Everyone congratulated him. They called him brilliant, visionary, disciplined. He smiled politely. Inside, he felt strangely empty. As he walked back to his office, his phone vibrated. It was his younger sister. He ignored it. 30 seconds later, she called again. Ignored. A third time, he sighed, finally answered. "Hey." Her voice sounded cheerful. "I just wanted to remind you." "Remind me what?" "You promised." Silence. His stomach tightened. "You said you'd come to Ethan's school today." Ethan, his nephew. The little boy had practiced for weeks to play the piano at his school's talent showcase. Adrian had promised. 3 months ago. He looked at his calendar. Every hour, already occupied. Board meeting, client lunch, conference call, dinner with investors. He closed his eyes. "I can't make it." On the other end, there was only silence. Then she quietly said, "You've said that every year." Click. The call ended. For a long moment, Adrian stared at the black screen. He suddenly realized something. His calendar was full, but his memories were empty. He could remember every quarterly report from the past 5 years. Yet he couldn't remember the last birthday party he attended. He remembered stock prices, contract numbers, revenue targets, but not the last time he laughed without checking his watch. That evening, another successful day had ended. Another profitable deal. Another promotion discussion. Another step toward financial freedom. Yet somehow, he felt less free than ever. Driving home. His car stopped at a red light. Across the street, he noticed something unusual. An elderly man sat on a park bench. No expensive clothes, no luxury watch, no briefcase, just a paper cup of coffee and a little girl laughing beside him. They fed birds together. The old man never looked at a phone, never hurried, never checked the time. He simply was present. The traffic light turned green. Cars behind Adrian honked loudly. He drove away, but the image stayed with him. Later that night, sleep refused to come. His apartment overlooked the glittering skyline. The city looked alive. Billions of lights, millions of dreams. Thousands of people believing they would finally be happy. After one more promotion, one more investment, one more achievement, Adrian stood by the window. He whispered to himself, "When did life become something I schedule instead of something I live?" No answer came, only silence. Then, he remembered the old watchmaker. Without thinking, he grabbed his keys. The streets were nearly empty. Rain from the night before still reflected the city lights. The tiny watch shop stood exactly where it had been. Its warm yellow light glowed against the darkness. The bell above the door rang softly. The old watchmaker smiled. "You came back sooner than I expected." Adrian didn't bother pretending. "I think I'm losing my life." The old man shook his head. "No. You're spending it?" "There is a difference." He motioned toward a wooden chair. This time, 2 glass jars sat on the table. One was almost overflowing with tiny golden beads. The other contained only a handful. "What are these?" Adrian asked. The watchmaker picked up the first jar. "This belongs to a teacher. He earns little money, but every evening he reads stories to his children." He pointed to the second jar. "This belongs to a billionaire. He owns private jets, 3 companies, 4 houses, and he hasn't watched a sunrise in 15 years. Adrian frowned. "What do the beads represent?" The old man answered quietly, "Moments that were truly lived." The room fell silent. The old clock behind them continued its slow, steady tick, tick, tick. The watchmaker leaned closer. "People think wealth is measured by what they own." He smiled gently. "I measure wealth by what they never have to rush." The words settled deep inside Adrian's mind. For years, he had been buying bigger things, a bigger apartment, a faster car, a better title. Yet he had never asked the simplest question. What was all that money supposed to buy? If it couldn't buy peace, if it couldn't buy dinner with family, if it couldn't buy a quiet morning, if it couldn't buy freedom, then what exactly had he become rich for? The watchmaker reached into a drawer and removed a small brass pocket watch. Unlike every other watch in the room, this one had no numbers, no hands, only a smooth white face. He placed it gently into Adrian's palm. "This watch cannot tell you what time it is." Adrian looked puzzled. "Then what's its purpose?" The old man smiled. "It asks a better question." "What question?" The watchmaker looked directly into his eyes. "Who owns your next hour?" Adrian stared at the blank watch. For the first time in years, he had no answer. Outside, the city kept racing. Inside the tiny shop, time seemed to stand still. And although Adrian didn't realize it yet, the first step toward becoming truly wealthy was never about earning more. It was about discovering who had been stealing his hours all along.